so hack to this. Yeah, this is just a black screen video and kind of going to be going off of the previous video that I'm making for this series. With this series specifically being YIIK and the previous video being kind of the prelude, or I guess, what's the term? The precursor to the hiatus that I'm going to be taking, as I mentioned in that video. And again, as I'm going to be talking about in this video, I'm going to be putting this series on hiatus for a bit, but it's not without reason. And it's more than just because the game isn't that great, being entirely honest. And I'm not having the greatest of time with it. Again, it's for other reasons. So, and that's kind of what I'm going to get into here. And then I'll go over the hiatus, how that's going to look, and then kind of just overall, just general future of recording and then stuff for his channel. So, there's that, Ryan. This is, and I'm just going to get into it right now. This should be a relatively short video. So, for the hiatus, basically what's going to happen is I'm going to take a hiatus. I'm stuck at a point in the game right now to where I know I'll need to look it up. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look it up, right, but at some point before I continue. But what I'm going to do and kind of what that hiatus will be and will look like is, in the meantime, I'll record a Civ game just because it's been a while. It's been a hot minute since I've recorded a Civ game. And, again, that plus I'm kind of getting burnt out with YIIK because it's not the most enjoyable anyway. So it's just a good time to take a break, as well as kind of, take a step back, reset, do an Civ game, right? Again, yet an short-term game, and then get back into YIIK and finish it. And the reason for that also being, as I had mentioned, and as you saw with Blue Skies in the very inconsistent recording with that, is my current line of work is just very inconsistent. So, but my current line of work is very soon coming to an end. It should be I should be done with what I'm currently doing in by early, if not late May, end of May. And then that's something to where, and the whole reason I played it to begin with was I wanted to hold off on any other major sort of big commitment recordings until my current line of work is ended, right? Because again, Blue Skies 84 total parts. It's pretty insane. And I started that back in last November during Thanksgiving. So again, the big thing with that, right, is just that, with what that ends up coming down to, it's okay, until my current line of work is over, I don't want to commit to anything else, which the next thing would likely be another Pokemon fan game or another DDLC mod. So that's partially why I decided to play YIIK and to see for myself, the game that is constantly compared to a Warriors its shitty counterpart. But it's something where, again, and then because I was originally anticipating on basically, it being end of April, my current line of work, it's a bit longer than I thought. So that's also why I feel comfortable taking this break. But again, the big thing being just it works out better for not only my experience playing it, as well as just the timeline in general with, and then that way, because I'll play the Civ game, enjoy it, I'll probably take 7 or 8 parts. I'm not going to do mega long parts. I'll do hour 30 parts. I'll do that, and then it'll be something to where it's hour 20-ish, probably is closer. Then I'll, again, pick up YIIK, finish that, and then once that's all done, I should be in my next line of work, right? And then that'll be something to where I can commit to either at that point, because I might honestly not even record. It's kind of up to, and that's partially why, again, I want to wait and hold off, because in the next line of work, I might not be able to. So I should be able to, theoretically, because it's much more consistent, but there may also be other factors at play. So the biggest thing being, again, I'm going to hold off until then, and then I'll make a similar video to this once it does start. And then it's okay, I can continue recording. Okay, I need to put this on hiatus, right? And just something, right? Other stuff. So there's that. It all ends up working out. And again, because I'm not going to ditch YIIK, right? The only, I think, excluding Civ games, because if I know I'm not going to win, I'm not going to continue playing a Civ game. I think the only non-Civ game I didn't commit to or finish is, well, I guess on my own that I didn't record is Pokemon Zeta and Omicron, right? That just wasn't the greatest game. But beyond that, it was, I think the only one was MC's Revenge, and that's because the whole resetting of the game didn't work on Max. So, that's what that ends up coming down to. So yeah, the biggest thing there and with that, right, is what that ends up coming down to being, okay, so I'm not going to quit the game. I just need to go on a quick hiatus or break or pause. So we'll see there. And then as for, again, in my current line of work and next line of work, it coincides with the move too, because right now I'm in Georgia, but I'll be moving to Louisiana, right? So just to have, so I also kind of want to settle into, because like I live in an apartment right now. Granted, I live with roommates, but there I'll live. And what I'll say, and part of what goes into being more consistent recording is I live by myself there. I'll live by myself. But that also means that, I'm going into a brand new apartment. So I need to like move in, take that time. I literally need to get furnishings because my current apartment was furnished. But over there, my new apartment's going to not be furnished. So again, it's just like things like that, right? So just personal things, But that's why it's like I want to also extend it a bit just to go through, just to extend a bit on that end as well. Just so that way, whenever I get into, which again, I say Pokemon fan game or DDLC mod, it's going to be a Pokemon fan game, right? Because I'm just going to try to alternate between the two now. I mean, between Uranium, beat that, like last October, I think. Then, again, got into Blue Skies. So now it's time for yet another fan game. But again, still going to be backloading the Reborn line. That'll be like a final, completionist thing. But up until that point, I'll play like other smaller like fan games or like just single off, one-off fan games. So, I mean, I've already played Insurgents, then Uranium, so who knows what the next one will be. But again, it's just something where it's like we'll see there, so. But anyway, I'll look into it and I'll figure something out. The YouTuber that I originally found or discovered Insurgents off of, Tyrantar2, he plays our fan game. So I'm just going to pick a fan game that he played probably. That's, again, not the Reborn line. It's Reborn, Rejuvenation, Desolation. I think all three of them are related to each other. So I'm just going to... And I also hear that's, like, pretty hard, like, where you need to, like, IV and EV, like, train. I just can't be bothered with that shit. So I'm just going to hold off anyway. But it'll most likely be a one-off fan game, so... We'll see when the time comes. I'll do my research and figure it out. But again, and then that'll be when I'm in Louisiana in my new apartment, new line of work. Should be more consistent. But again, still probably only going to be singles, but at least consistent singles. But again, just we'll see. We'll see. I'll make another one of these when it comes down there. That's just the plan for now. And that's where this is going. And like, again, just find why I'm taking this break, just besides, basically, it's not just because I don't like the game. It's because of other reasons. So. But I mean, I'm not sure if there's really that much more to go over. I guess, I think, and I can probably say this, I don't want to say for certain, but I can probably say this for a fact now, or I don't want to say for a fact, but just, with confidence, right? I think for the future of this channel and what recordings are going to look like, it'll literally just rotate and alternate between Pokemon fan game, DDLC mod potentially, Monica mods, right, because we haven't really had many of those, Civ games just occasionally, right, and then, like, that'll just be, what would you call it, that'll just be, kind of whenever, right, just whenever you get that opportunity, and then maybe some, like, random off, like, game, that would be, what would you call it, that would be, like, what's the term, that'd be kind of like YIIK there, or a YIIK-like game, or like a Mori, right, so... That's the big thing there. So anyway, right? That's what that ends up coming down to. So anyway, I guess, yeah, honestly, I don't think there's really much more to say for this video. I think that's just, and again, obviously I'll be making black screen videos. I still need to upload one for, again, Scissor 7. I'm going to resume watching it. Actually, I have it done. I just need to upload it. But yeah, it's just like, yeah, just, we'll see. I mean, I'm not taking these too seriously because, again, what was it? The peak or, like, height of my channel, like, attraction, or I guess sort of interaction? What's the term? Yeah, I guess channel interaction was, like, summer of 2018 when I first started doing DDLC shit. So, like, again, it's something where it's like, I'm not exactly doing it. Like, that's what and this has been the case. I'm not exactly doing it for ours. I'm doing it for myself because I enjoy this shit, right? So, even if nobody's really watching. But, it's just something to where it'll buff. And, again, we'll see, right? A big thing I want to do is, besides my current line of work, I can talk about this. Besides my current line of work, or my next line of work, right? I also want to try to get my master's at the same time. It would be online. Because in case you didn't know, I'm a college grad. I have a freaking bachelor's or undergrad's degree or whatever, right? And then I'm looking to get, like, a master's and grad's degree. But it would have to be online and in tandem with my work. It wouldn't be like I'd go to, like, grad school. It'd be like, again, I do it on my own. So That's not like a flex. That's just saying because that is based off of the consistency of my next line of work, and that would likely take place of the recording. That's kind of the toss-up. With that in the next line of work, I don't want to say more busy, it'll just be more consistently busy. So there probably won't be any doubles. I'm just being honest, there probably won't be any doubles. But the sort of toss-up would be, okay, whether or not I pursue the masters if I believe it to be feasible, or recording, right? I kind of hate to say it, I'm leaning more towards the masters, but that's obviously just for myself, right? I mean, I didn't even think I'd be able to record in freaking college, much less, as a post-college grad, right? So it's something to where it's like, again, just we'll see. Like, again, it's a very dynamic thing, but if it comes down to it and I am able to get my master's, I will, but if it's just not feasible, then I'll be doing the recordings, right? So, again, just we'll see there, right? And it's like, it is just kind of crazy and wild to think how far we've come, right? How far this has come from starting, I believe my very first video was November of 2016. That's like 6-ish years ago. That would have been November of 2022, would have been 6 years. It's closing in on 7. And then, I started, DDLC in, spring of 2018, and that's really when I kind of expanded, and then my channel I don't want to say blew up, but that's when I expanded, and again, it was, because up until that point, I was only playing Civ, and if I would have only played Civ, I would have just quickly burnt out, but because I expanded, what I was playing, right, it actually, quality over quantity, right, I actually got better at Civ, but it's also, I enjoy the art stuff I do, and again, the big 3 kind of for my channel has been Civ, right, always, because I started with it, then DDLC, right, and then, Insurgents, right, Insurgents was a big one, and then even after that, Omori, and, other fans, and now it's something to where it's just, but we'll see, I don't want to drag this video on any longer. I think I talked about everything I need to. This is just, again, going on top of the other video. This is just the official hiatus video, and then whenever we come back, I'll just resume with the normal part, but with that, I don't really have anything else to say, so... Yep, that's it for this one. See you in the next one.